Welcome to Neural Wings, your source for Kalamazoo Wings game analysis and predictions. Brought to you by absolutely no one. I'm your host, Ano, here to recap the last week of K-Wings hockey and what's ahead for the red, white, and blue. Divisional update. As of December 15, 2025, the ECHL Central Division is heating up with Fort Wayne leading the way. They've played 23 games with 15 wins, 6 losses, 2 overtime losses, and no shootout losses, giving them 32 points and a points percentage of 0.696. Right behind them, tied at 30 points each, are Toledo and Bloomington. Toledo has 13 wins, 5 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 2 shootout losses in 22 games, with a slightly higher percentage of 0.682 due to 1 fewer game played. Bloomington matches those 30 points with 13 wins, 6 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 2 shootout losses in 23 games at 0.652. Cincinnati is in 4th place with 12 wins, 9 losses, 2 overtime losses, and no shootout losses in 23 games, totaling 26 points and a 0.565 percentage. Then there's Indy in 5th with 9 wins, 11 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 1 shootout loss in 23 games, for 21 points at 0.457. Kalamazoo sits in 6th with 8 wins, 11 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 1 shootout loss in 22 games, 21 points at 0.457, earning 19 points and a 0.432 percentage. Finally, Iowa rounds out the division in 7th with 8 wins, 13 losses, 2 overtime losses, and no shootout losses in 23 games, at 18 points and 0.391. The top is tight. Fort Wayne just 2 points ahead of Toledo and Bloomington, while the bottom 3 are closely bunched, with Kalamazoo only 2 points behind Indy and 1 ahead of Iowa. Kalamazoo's goal differential stands out negatively at -19, with 63 goals for and 82 against, which is among the worst in the division. Game breakdowns. Over the past week, the Kalamazoo Wings played 4 games, splitting them with 2 wins and 2 losses for a 2-2 record. On December 10th, they faced the Bloomington Bison and lost 5-4. It was a close, high-scoring affair where Kalamazoo mounted a comeback but couldn't quite pull it off, highlighting some defensive lapses late in the game. The Wings started strong with an early goal from Powell Connor, assisted by Hunter Strand, just 58 seconds in, but Bloomington battled back with multiple unanswered goals, forcing Kalamazoo into a shootout where they ultimately fell short, despite a valiant effort to overcome the deficit. Then, on December 12th, they took on the Cincinnati Cyclones and won 3-2. This was a gritty, low-scoring victory where their goaltending shone, holding off a late push from Cincinnati. Ty Young was outstanding in net with 33 saves out of 35 shots, and the Wings' penalty kill went 3 for 4, allowing them to climb back from an early deficit and secure the overtime winner in a hard-fought road game at Heritage Bank Center. The next day, December 13th, against the Fort Wayne Comets, Kalamazoo edged out a 5-4 win. This game was wild, featuring a massive brawl that saw 7 players ejected, 4 from the Wings and 3 from the Comets, resulting in over 90 penalty minutes in one go. Despite the chaos, Kalamazoo's offense stepped up to secure the win, with Andre Gantus scoring twice, including the game winner with 27.3 seconds left after the Wings blew a 3-1 lead but capitalized on a late bounce, while goaltender Ty Young made 32 saves in a penalty-filled third period that racked up 92 minutes total. Finally, on December 14th, they played the Comets again and got shut out 4-0. It was a tough rematch, with Fort Wayne dominating and Kalamazoo struggling to generate any offense, possibly fatigued from the previous night's intensity. The Comets scored once in the first at 14:27, added two more in the second at 7:28 and 18:17, and sealed it in the third at 12:22, while Aku Koskenvuo made 40 saves for the Wings in their first shutout loss of the season, going 2 for 3 on the penalty kill but unable to break through offensively. Performance analysis. Overall, Kalamazoo showed some real positives this week. They did well offensively in spurts, especially in the higher-scoring games against Bloomington and Fort Wayne, where they tallied 4 and 5 goals respectively. Their ability to battle back in close contests, like the 3-2 win over Cincinnati, points to good resilience and solid goaltending under pressure. The team also displayed physicality, as evidenced by the brawl, which could energize them in divisional rivalries. On the flip side, they struggled with consistency, particularly defensively, conceding 5, 2, 4, and 4 goals across the games, which aligns with their poor goal differential. The shutout loss highlights issues in generating sustained offense against stronger teams, and the penalties from the brawl might have carried over, affecting discipline and lineup depth. To climb the standings, they'll need to tighten up their defense and find more balanced scoring to avoid these up-and-down performances. Roster moves. In the past week, the Kalamazoo Wings were active with several roster adjustments, focusing on bolstering their goaltending and adding depth to their forward and defensive lines. Starting on December 8th, the Wings signed forward David Kiefer, welcoming back the team's 2023-24 Rookie of the Year from overseas play. Kiefer, a Michigan native, brings scoring potential and familiarity to the lineup, having previously impressed in limited action with Kalamazoo. Also on December 8th, the Vancouver Canucks assigned goaltender Ty Young to the Wings on loan. Young, a promising netminder, adds stability in goal and saw action in recent games, including strong performances against Cincinnati and Fort Wayne. Then, on December 11th, the team received defenseman Derek Dashke from the Abbotsford Canucks in the AHL. Dashke, a 2024-25 All-ECHL first-team selection, is expected to strengthen the blue line with his offensive skills from the point. He even scored his first goal of the season on a power play shortly after joining. Finally, on December 13th, goaltender Aku Koskenvuo was reassigned to Kalamazoo from Abbotsford by the Vancouver Canucks. The rookie, a 2021 NHL draft pick, made an immediate impact by starting the next day against Fort Wayne, stopping 40 shots in a tough shutout loss. On the same day, to make room in the goaltending rotation, the Wings traded goaltender Luke Pavicic to the Worcester Railers. Pavicic had been with Kalamazoo earlier in the season, and this move likely opens up opportunities for the new arrivals while potentially bringing in future considerations. These changes reflect an effort to stabilize the crease amid injuries and inconsistencies, while adding experienced players to help push the team up the standings. No other moves, like releases or suspensions, were reported during this period. Upcoming games. Friday, December 19th, 2025. The Wings are on the road to Bloomington, looking to stall a hot Bison team in their house. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Central. Friday, December 20th, 2025. The Wings continue a weekend set in Bison Country for some much-needed points. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Central. Well, that's it for today. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend. It helps out more than you know. I'm Ano, and this is Neural Wings. Let's go, K-Wings.